Sanders Gulf Islands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's a certain amount of rowdiness in here, but probably outside. But I'm pursuing a question I first asked on April 14th. I've been concerned for some time that the new Liberal government has less respect for science than previous governments. We recently mourned the death of colleague Dr. Kirsty Duncan, who, in all of the eulogies, people remembered her as the first Minister for Science in Canada. I think we may note that she I hate to say this, I think she'll be the last Minister of Science in Canada because there isn't one now. And the gravitas, the importance of scientific briefings and scientific advice from core government departments that are science-based is sorely lacking. And it's reflected in the cuts that we're seeing in environment and climate change, cuts in Agriculture Canada to basic scientific research. We're seeing whole branches of science shut down in this country. A scientific expert, an entomologist and taxonomist, contacted me because the whole national collection of insects in the Diptera are shut down, and there are no scientists to pick up this work. They've all been laid off. An international petition was launched. 495 scientists from 47 different countries are raising the alarm about Canada dropping the ball and saying it may seem to people that it's obscure to keep track of what species of insect we have in our collection, but it can cause enormous economic damage when you lose the brain power to know which insect is which, and if it's an exotic species that doesn't belong in that particular forest, you need to know about it soon and you need to take action. We're seeing cuts across the board. There's an open letter that was just sent today to the Prime Minister's office of 425 scientists from many jurisdictions, also internationally, concerned that the cuts to the Ocean Protection Plan mean that we simply won't be able to understand and protect our marine environment. These are serious matters, and when I asked the question of the Prime Minister back in April, I asked, has the Prime Minister ever consulted his chief science advisor about these cuts? Now, the Honourable Parliamentary Secretary made a good go at it and said that in general people appreciated the advice of Dr. Mona Nemer, who's the Prime Minister's chief science advisor. But since I asked the question, had it verified that the Prime Minister has not once sat down and met with his chief science advisor. This is deeply worrying. Changes are being proposed, as in the massive discussion documents issued May 8th, that have profound impacts, endangering endangered species, and also we're losing the precautionary principle. If you look buried in the Omnibus Budget Bill C-30, there you find the single biggest assault on getting evidence and science brought to bear on the dangers of pesticides to human health and the environment. But buried in an omnibus bill, it'll only be studied by the Finance Committee, and they had no time to hear from witnesses really concerned about this issue. With that, I ask this government again, will it please rethink, stop, and be concerned? The precautionary principle has been recognized by the Supreme Court of Canada as fundamental to our legal jurisprudence. In this country, we do not want to find ourselves once again with decision-based evidence-making. We need to look at the science first, do our research first, before we decide we've got to build whatever fast and not be concerned with what the scientists are warning us will occur if we fail to think first, plan well, and then build. Thank you.